Brr, it's been cold in Texas. This is your History Rat post-freeze update. Whoa. Hi guys, and welcome to the History Rats. I'm Kayan. This is my husband Johnny, our 10-year-old daughter Athena, and our mighty dog Titan. Together, we make up the History Rats crew and family. We live on our 1974 Morgan Out Island 33 sailboat, Big Blue. Come and join us for the fun and the coastal adventure. Hey guys, here we are on Big Blue, and today we're going to talk about our winter storm that we have been having here in Texas, our winter COVID hibernation time. So we are located here in Palacios, Texas, on the coast of Matagorda Bay, and we do live in a sailboat. A Big Blue is a Morgan Out Island 33, which means that she is a 33-foot sailboat. Now, for those of you who don't know boat life and boat lingo, the length overall of your sailboat, the 33 feet, includes from bowsprit to stern. So that is not actual living. We do not have 33 feet of living space, unfortunately. But we do have quite a large amount of space here on Big Blue because she is so beamy or wide. And we have been prepping for our dream trip to the Caribbean. So for Boatmas, Johnny and I invested in a refrigerator. So we have our ice box, but we also have an actual refrigerator that runs on our 12-volt system. We invested in a Simrad unit, which is out in the cockpit, and it shows us, where we're going and what's coming at us, all that good fun stuff. And we invested in solar panels. Woo woo. Now, getting the solar panels was a minor production because when we ordered them from My Survival Cache, and shout out to the man who runs My Survival Cache because he was very polite and he sent us messages, both emails and Facebook Messenger messages, because we did find the ad for the solar panels on the Facebook. And the guy was very, very polite and professional. It took well over a month for the solar panels to come in. We ordered them at the beginning of December. They didn't come in until the end of January. It was well over a month that we waited. And actually, they spent several weeks in Grapevine, Texas. Now, according to Miss Google, Grapevine is 4 hours away from Palacios by vehicle. Not as the crow flies, by vehicle. And it took dang near 3 weeks for the solar panels to make the trip, the 4-hour trip from Grapevine, Texas to Palacios, Texas, where they were delivered in the office. Now, it did get to the point that we were thinking maybe we got scammed, because there are a lot of scams out there. My mom recently got scammed out of $100 for a tractor trailer thing with the claw and there's a word for it, but it's something. It's something for you dirt dwellers. We don't need that stuff here, in boat life. So, one of them things. Backhoe. That's the word I'm looking for. A backhoe. I digress. But, so we were thinking that maybe we got scammed a little bit, and that would really suck, because we did, while we got them on a pretty good deal, it was still a large amount of money for us, because when you're living the boat life, $1 that you spend here is $1 away from this over here. So, but our solar panels finally came in. We have not actually got them installed where they're going to be here on the boat. We've had other projects that we've been doing. Johnny has been working his booty off doing this and that, and the wiring. Johnny hates wiring, but he's really good at it. Most people go in and they just throw stuff together. When Johnny gets done with wiring, you can ask anybody who's seen a motorcycle he's worked on or a car he's worked on. That stuff is spot on when he gets done. So it took quite a bit of time just doing the wiring. But we did get our solar panels wired in. They are not where they're going to be permanently, but we did get them wired in, which is good, because as most of you know, this February has been a cold one here in Texas. We got down well below freezing here in Palacios, and honestly, this girl is not a fan of the cold. Johnny's not a fan of the cold. Athena didn't even want to get out and play in the snow because it was so cold. So we holed up here on Big Blue. And we also had quite a few of our Dock Rat family that came and stayed with us, because at one point the whole town of Palacios was dark. For more than 48 hours, there was absolutely no power anywhere in town. The docks were dark, town was dark. They had a generator at Lowe's so that Lowe's could be open. That's Lowe's Market, where we buy our groceries, not like a Lowe's hardware store, although you can buy a still at our Lowe's. When the power went off on the docks, we history rats here on Big Blue simply pushed a button and turned on our power inverter, which takes electricity from the batteries, takes it from the solar panels, and puts it into our 12-volt system. We were able to heat the boat with our propane heater. This good guy right here. We were able to cook on our gimbaled propane stove. We were able to have lighting through our 12-volt system, and we were even able to run our TV. So we could actually watch YouTube on the TV during a blackout. So life on Big Blue was pretty decent. However, outside of Big Blue, everything was still in the dark. Because we are in a marina at a dock, we don't use our head here on the boat. We go up to the public head, or semi-public head. You have to have a password to get in, and you have to be either in the RV park or in the marina to have the password. So it's a semi-public head. But that is where our showers and our bathrooms are. And let me tell you, there are no windows in the public head. And it gets really, really dark in there with no power. And the first time I went up there after the power went out here on the docks, I wasn't really thinking because we still had power on Big Blue, so not much was different. And it was cold outside, but I needed to go to the head, so I ventured out, bundled up in my winter wardrobe, headed up to the public head, and I didn't think to take a flashlight. So I got to experience what it is like for a blind person to use the head. That was an interesting experience, to say the least. But our friends here on the dock, the ones in our liveaboards, they weren't all so lucky. Some of them have generators, and so we're able to keep their boats nice and warm. But a few of them, like Casper and Itamunk, their boats aren't set up to be self-contained, and their generators, it was easier for them to come down and pile in with us, and we kept us all fed and kept us all warm, and it turned out okay. If you follow us on Dark History with the History Rats on Facebook, then you probably already know about our eating habits. We eat what the Bay provides. Ask, and the Bay shall provide. So, because of the frigid temperatures, there has been what is called a fish kill. That is when the fish, most of them go down into the deep water where it stays warm, but some of the fish end up in the shallow waters where, in freezing temperatures, they go into shock, and most of them die. Sometimes you can find them and get them out of the water for a little bit and let them warm up, because at one point, usually the water is warmer than the air temperature, but after a prolonged period of freezing temperatures, it got to one point when the air was warming up and the water was still very cold. So you could take the fish out and it would like thaw out and come back to life, and you could put it in the water and it'd take off. So that was pretty cool. But a number of fish have sadly died because of the freezing temperature. That's nature. It happens. I know there are some of you out there who think that the politicians are the ones who created the snowstorm, and I'm not judging you, because there are people out there who think that the earth is flat. So to each his own. You believe what you believe, I believe what I believe. But let me just tell you, this is nature going on. Yes, it is abnormal for Texas to be so cold, but it has happened before. The year I was born, in 1989, there was a blizzard that hit not only this area, but the Baytown area. My papa worked at one of the chemical plants, and he talked about how there were icicles hanging off of the metal things, and you know, the big stacks and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's happened before. It's unusual, but it's not unprecedented. It's happened. So, the fish die, and if they're just left there, they're going to rot, and they're going to stink, and it's going to be gross. So, when we find...
We do not eat dead fish. The fish we pull out of the water are still alive.
Okay,
all but barely.
Johnny would like to point out that we are not finding dead fish and eating them. The fish that we are eating are still alive, but they're not going to make it. They're too far into shock from the cold, and you can't revive them. We're not eating dead fish, but we're also not eating super great fish that, you know, are swimming around. We're not reeling them in. That's not what's happening. But if we leave the fish in the freezing water, they're going to die. So if we don't kill them, they're going to die and go to waste. So we, enter picture here, have been eating trout because you ask and the bay will provide. Johnny actually made a recipe that he found from Gordon Ramsay, although I'd like to point out he didn't do any cussing or hollering the entire time he was cooking, so I don't think that Gordon Ramsay would have approved of that method because he seems to cuss and holler and yell the entire time he's cooking, so I'm pretty sure that that's part of his method. That is like, that's it. I mean, that's why his food is so good, because he hollers and he yells and he cusses, and it scares the food, and the food has to be yummy, because if it's not, they're scared of what he's going to do. So that's what makes Gordon Ramsay's food so good. So, last night, we had lemon zest and lime baked trout, and it was actually pretty good. I have gotten a lot of grief over the years because I do not like seafood, but where I come from, the only seafood you get is catfish. And my dad came from Michigan, and he always said that corn was cow food and catfish was nothing but a bottom-feeding trash fish. So I never really understood that until I got down here. I've been able to try redfish and snapper and trout now, and I've discovered that not all fish taste fishy. Like, I don't like the taste or the texture of catfish, and fried fish is usually oily and gummy and anyway, but I really like I really like grilled fish, but because it was still kind of chilly, now it is thawing out. We're starting to get the wind is still a little bit chilly, but we are able to go outside in the daylight. The nighttime is still pretty frigid. So instead of going out and grilling in the cockpit, Johnny baked the trout last night, and we're going to try blackened trout tonight. So I'm sure there will be pictures to follow, and if there is, I will insert it here. But that, I guess, is our after winter update here on Big Blue. Let's talk Inked Magazine. So, as those of you who follow me on Dark History with the History Rats on Facebook, as well as under History Rats on the Instagram, you know that I have been in a CoverGirl competition where you get free daily votes every 24 hours, and I have been trying to not push the CoverGirl competition as much on the History Rats page as I have been on my own personal page, because I believe that that's more of a me thing, while it would have helped out the whole History Rat crew and family. It was really more of a mama rat thing, really. The voting for the Inked Magazine Cover Girl contest ended last Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, not Central Standard Time like we have here. So it actually ended at 10 o'clock here. I actually made top 5. I'm no longer in the competition. So it started out, there was a whole bunch of very, very beautiful women who signed on for this competition, and I was kind of blown away that I made it through the top 15, and the top 10, and then the top 5 cutoff. Believe me, there are no tears in here because I am uber motivated and inspired by the fact that I made it as far as I did. Because, look, 18-year-old Kayan would have never signed up to be in a competition where it was based on looks and body image. I love my tattoos. I've always loved my tattoos. I love my piercings. They make me and individual and unique. And I'm a very unique person. As people who know me know, I am one of a kind, a limited edition. I know, you're thinking, thank the gods, right? Yeah, so. But I made it to the top 5, and I have to say thank you to everyone who took the time to vote, to everyone who took the time to send me a positive message or a kind word, or I have received so much support and love from all of you, then it is unreal. And I have to say thank you. Although the voting is over, you can still go and vote for the competition as it is now, but I'm no longer in it. However, if you want to give us your support here at the History Rats, feel free to follow us on Dark History with the History Rats on Facebook. Follow us under History Rats on Instagram, and like and subscribe right there. It's free. Won't hurt you. Check it out.
Yeah, and they get the paint all the Apache helicopters and the stealth bombers, all this kind of stuff. It's called stealth bomber paint, basically. He's like, why don't you paint it?
I was just getting some action shots, that's all.
And basically, what it does, the light hits
Your
it,
action shots
it's
and my
such
action
a
shots are
makeup,
two different
it doesn't
things.
reflect off. So
Yeah, I
you've got
know.
a filter there. In the dark, it just looks like you're looking
But
into the abyss.
they don't,
It
the
absorbs the light
YouTube
into the paint, and you don't get any reflection.
world does not want to just sit here and listen to me talk about boat life. They want to see boat life.
Because he's the man. Like, he knows everyone. You know, he called in this favor. He's there observing it. They mix the paint up. They shoot the car like 2 or 3 times.
This
Too much paint than you need. Go overboard. So if there is a problem,
trout.
hopefully buff it out or whatever. They take the plastic.
Fresh from the bay.
They take the lot and they do. I mean, the only car that we know that's a civilian vehicle in the world that gets painted by stealth bomber paint. What are you doing, man? Race car. Put him in.
Huh?
This guy has an eye for the
Are you helping Johnny clean the fish, make fillets?
This one,
Yeah?
this one. My phone ordered me to, and I said, we're building a car for SEMA.
Yeah.
Are you guys interested in the show in Las Vegas? And they're like, buddy, we
Is
know
this
where
better,
the
Ma?
SEMA show is in Las Vegas. I'm like,
This is
okay.
your happy
So,
place.
well, we're building a car in El Paso, Texas, and what we're going to do is we're going to
not that long ago,
here's the booth number.
Monk wouldn't sit here with me like this. Because
Another
freaking Casper isn't here right now.
and we want to show your product.
Usually,
No one would
she would be whining and waiting for him to come back if he left her with us for any given time. It could be 5 seconds, it could be 5 hours. She's gonna whine the whole time.
Things normally pan out pretty darn
But
well. And these gauges,
since
man, I
our
don't know how he does
February
it, but his
freeze,
ideas in life, but they just seem to all fall in place. You
Mom
jump
kind of
in,
got
and the
kind of
comments
partial
he had
to
over
us. She
the
actually
gauges were just amazing, you know.
comes and
And
sits with
when
us.
Michael goes, Sam, I want LED lights. I want these big 4
Life of a
old school
doctor.
1960s spotlights. I'm like, we're gonna see.
1, 2, 3, holding. Hold on. Not good. Way not good. It blew out a line back here. That's gonna be 2 hours. This is the line that exploded.
What is that,
Right
Titan?
there. We're replumbing the whole truck right now.
What is
Fortunately,
it?
it's pretty simple. I think overall line replacement is probably only going to take about 45 minutes. Go to the left front. Okay. 2. Open. Pretty solid fluid. Okay, I'll move to the next one.
Easter egg.
Trying to drive where you don't get here.
The cockpit is right now because it's cold and we don't want to be out here cleaning. It's the one in the bucket, right? Yeah, there it is. Titan can hear this thing flopping around in the bucket from inside, and it is driving him crazy. It's pretty funny, actually. Well, just got done eating dinner, went and took a shower in the community head, which thankfully power was back on, so I wasn't blind in the shower, but at the same time, there was someone in my favorite shower stall. And what's worse is there was someone in my second favorite shower stall. Ugh. So I had to use Athena's favorite shower stall.
Why is everyone taking showers?
Because it's a showery kind of night. That's why everybody's taking showers tonight. Kids.
Hey,
Alas. Boat life problems. When there's somebody in your favorite shower stall and somebody in your second favorite shower stall. Dang it, man. Anyway, about dinner. We had blackened trout, fresh from the bay, seasoned with rosemary and thyme and ground cumin and black pepper and Slap Yo Mama Cajun seasoning. We got recommended to try Slap Yo Mama by one of our dock rats here on the dock, and since Mr. McWaters has done not only his tour of duty serving the country, he's also done his tour of duty in chef school, so we took his word for it, and it was pretty daggum good. So if you haven't tried Slap Yo Mama seasoning, Cajun seasoning, I recommend you give it a try. It's not bad. Better than Tony Chachere's. And you got that straight from the rat's mouth. I want to take a moment to express how truly grateful I am for all of my dock rats here on the dock. That's our liveaboards and our frequent flyers just the same. I am so grateful. Not just that we are on this incredible adventure, which I know to y'all it probably doesn't look like we've done anything, but let me tell you, we have done so much just since July. So much. Our dock rats here are top notch. They are the best of the best. And during this hard wintry hell that we've been going through, I'm just kidding, it hasn't been that bad, just being a little facetious. But during this hard time, we have had so much help from our dock rats. From Jeff and Darla bringing us honey and grapefruits, which were delicious, to Monk and Casper, Bree. It's been wonderful. And I am so thankful for every one of my dock rats.